right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
After the turnover, here's Murray. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And got his man complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. The return is Mickens. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. We get a peek at Tom Brady as he brings out this Tampa Bay offense. And Tom Brady in his 22nd season overall and his second in Tampa Bay.
Well, we've all seen what Tom Brady can do on a football field for a couple of decades now. But how about his most impressive accomplishment? Moving to a different franchise and taking them to a Super Bowl title as well. Not many players can continually stiff on Father Time the way that he has.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Running on first down is Jones, but he's not going to get much, maybe a couple, and second down. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Brady finding Godwin there for a Buccaneer first. Well, it's a question that's been asked over and over and over, but CD, I'll pose it to you anyway. What do you have to do defensively to stop Tom Brady?
It's one of the great questions in the NFL, and there are a ton of defensive coaches who are retired at this point because they tried to stop Tom Brady and couldn't get it done. You've got to have excellent defenders, guys who can stick to their men like glue, because he's so good at finding those open receivers and then putting the ball into tight windows and completing passes downfield.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Brady's throw complete there to Evans. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Brady's throw there complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And there's a familiar sight. Rob Gronkowski making a catch for a first down. And remember, Gronk said he was done in 2019, was out of football after retiring from the Patriots. But Brady asked if he'd run it back with him in Tampa, and he answered the call. Gronk earned his 4th ring with the win in Super Bowl 55, a game in which he scored 2 touchdowns.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Byron Murphy, the first pick of the 2nd round there defensively.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Beautiful throw right there on 3rd down, and it looked like this was going to be 6 points, but a nice touchdown-saving tackle at the end of this. Even still, this offense is knocking on the door now with a 1st and goal at the 1.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Brady going to throw. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans there to make the grab. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the 1st quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Arizona Cardinals offense coming out here for the first time, and we get a peek at Kyler Murray, the dangerous offensive weapon now in his 3rd season in the National Football League.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Out of the gun, he'll throw.
That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Murray going to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Flushed out right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football. As they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Now a carry for Bernard. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Brady now on first down. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Well, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
That throw by Brady incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Brady gives this one off to Jones.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
18 yards for Ronald Jones.
And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. On the return, Andy Isabella. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. First carry for James Conner. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. William Golston showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4. From the gun, Murray rolling to his left. They'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Murray now on first down. Dancing to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Murray. Escaping the pressure right. And it's caught. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Kyler Murray with a touchdown throw to DeAndre Hopkins.
And the Cardinals draw a bit closer.
Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Extra point good by Prater, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Tampa Bay offense and Ronald Jones leading him out. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. That throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. On first down, Brady. He drops it off for Bernard. That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down. Here's Brady. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, 35 yards. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. On the return, Isabella. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it when...
And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown! A.J. Green, 75 yards. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability.
It's so easy to focus on the speed and elusiveness of Kyler Murray, but as he shows right there, don't sleep on the arm strength.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. Oh, good return up past the 30. The attention shifting back to Chris Godwin and the rest of the Tampa offense. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him. They haven't had a whole lot of success thus far.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. And Brady's throw there, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Tom Brady, his third touchdown pass of this first half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Now Kyler Murray ready to get back under center. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what's...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Shotgun now from Murray, out to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. There on the coverage, knocking that one away was Mike Edwards.
Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Murray now to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Here's Andy Lee now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. It's something we've said a million times, but we were treated to a...
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the Bucs. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinals ready to go here to start the 3rd quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Being chased out left. Going deep for Hopkins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But it'll be second down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Eluding the pressure right. This is caught. It's Kirk. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. Throwing on first down is Murray. Steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
So, Charles, we are 3 weeks now into the regular season, and we're left with 5 unbeaten teams. Raiders and Broncos in the AFC, over in the NFC, Panthers, Cards, and Rams, all at 3-0. Maybe not the 5 that we would have predicted when the season started, but of that group, who stands out to you?
Well, I'm going to say absolutely all of them. All right, sounds like I'm sitting on the fence, but I'm going to tell
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Tough. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his second touchdown of the night. And the Bucs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Out of his end zone comes Andy Isabella. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the Arizona offense about set to take over. Sort of a slow and steady game so far, but reliable for him here in this third quarter.
Sounds like we're describing a possession receiver, right? The one that finds a way to make the big catches, the ones that break the backs of defenses, keep first downs, accumulating. I think he's that and maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, he's been pretty good so far. We'll see if he can make this good game a great game. Call that a very strong gain of 24. To throw is Murray. Flush to his right. He's going to air it out deep for Green. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the third time. It's the Pro Bowl quarterback, Richard Sherman. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
And Richard Sherman uses his veteran savvy to come up with an interception there, and he still has plenty of ability out on the corner. And he's the NFL's active leader in interceptions. Moved on from the Niners after 3 seasons, but thriving with a new ball club, and that veteran know-how comes into play one more time.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now Brady. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Here's Jones again on second down.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Now Brady. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. The 4th touchdown pass in the game for Tom Brady. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone.
Extra point put through by Succop, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's hoping to take what has been a good game here and make it a great game. So far, solid, and we're still in the third quarter.
There's nothing wrong with solid. You want to be that. You want to be reliable. You want to be a guy that puts your team in a position to have a chance to win. And that's what we're seeing from him. And there's also that added element.
Touchdown, Cardinals! Chase Edmonds, 75 yards.
And the Cardinals get a bit closer.
Well, it doesn't matter where you put him, lined up in the backfield or split out like he was there. He can be a weapon when he gets that ball in his hands.
And talk about a quick answer. This looked like a missed assignment. You'd think someone would be able to rein him in after he makes this catch, but he's so slippery in the open field, he's able to take it all the way to the end zone.
And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Mike Evans in the Tampa offense about to set up shop.
Well, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't it?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
It's almost human nature, isn't it? They score on one play, you come out on offense, you try and do exactly the same thing. They tried the deep ball, couldn't quite connect, but give them an A for effort.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Brady to throw for it on 4th down. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
First down 10, 26-yard line.
Murray now on first down. And he's going to be taken down there. A sack back at the 32. Jason Pierre-Paul. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. After the sack on first down, Murray. And the reception made by Green. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. They'll run here with Connor. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. James Conner taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cards are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time, he had the speed to win that race.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. The return is Mickens. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. J.J. Watt just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. Back now in Jacksonville. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Here's a throw caught by Gronkowski. And he is going to lose yardage here. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. In his own end zone, it's Brady. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
Here's Bradley Pinion now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Flushed out right. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Out of the gun. Here's Murray on the move to his left. Murray fighting, lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, we know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 82 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He's going deep for Brown. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Jalen Thompson picks it, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Now with that interception, you feel like we've got a ball game again. Remember, a two-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either, throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Carlton Davis picks it, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
A throw there by Brady, intended for Gronkowski, but incomplete. Gronkowski again, he was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. On play action, it's Brady. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Buda Baker with a pick, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Excellent pick there by Buda Baker. I remember when teams were preparing for him primarily as one of the better special teamers in the league. An all-pro as a rookie in that spot. He's grown into being one of the best safeties in the NFL. In 2020, named all-pro again, this time as a member of the secondary.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. Touchdown, Cardinals! Christian Kirk, 45 yards. And the Cardinals have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just under 2 minutes to play, and this would figure to pretty much be your ball game right here. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Past midfield, look out. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Back now comes Tampa Bay.
And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Again, it's Jones. And he's got this down to the 35.
96 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones.
And the all-pro safety Buda Baker in on the tackle.
Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break at the football. Get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Rolling to his right. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted.
Picked off by the veteran Richard Sherman.
And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. But he will not be able to bring it back. My goodness, what a bizarre ending. The kind of decision that could get a quarterback released before he gets back to the locker room. But fortunately for him and his crew, the ball game is over. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of